Dylan Scott. Hold on.
What's going on, buddy? Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me, Dylan?
Yeah.
I can hardly hear. I think I have the volume up on. So the women are off. Hold on. Let me.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll mute myself. I'm just laying here warming. I'm getting ready to warm up.
You're getting ready to roll, man. How do you like the venue out there? How's it look?
It looks good. The course looks good. It looks to be pretty wide. I don't think it's going to be too bunched up. The layout's really fast, and the rock zone's good.
Hold on, I'm all screwed up, Dylan. I'm like barely hanging on. We got Brakken in here too. Brakken, check it out. We got Dylan on.
Look at that. This man's just hanging.
We might have lost him. Oh, there he is.
Oh no, I was just looking at my time. I'm laying upside down. I want to see how long my legs have been up for.
You're just measuring how long your legs were?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was doing.
You do seem to have longer extremities than others. We're on. Women are out.
All right, question for you.
For who? Which one?
You. You got it up now.
What's up?
Never mind. I had a stream going on my end, but you
did.
race.
What stream? You had this stream?
Yeah, but you got it up now.
I got it. I'm gonna toss it on Instagram real quick.
Are you able to turn down the venue noise slightly or no?
I just muted this site. Can you hear the venue noise right now?
Oh yeah.
Do you have the stream going?
I don't think so. No.
Is Dylan still on?
You don't hear the venue noise?
Or hold on. I might have the wrong. I might have. Is that better? Same. I don't know because I have the live stream muted, so I don't hear it at all.
Oh.
And Dylan's also on mute.
All right, what do we got here? What are we looking at, Rich?
Is it obnoxious? Can you hear?
I can hear.
Okay, cool. Is this better? Does that look bigger or no?
Same for me.
No, same. So we got Meg Jacoby up leading the way in the teal shorts. I don't know who's the second. I don't know. She looks fast though. Alyssa Hawley is also in this race.
So this right off the bat is what I wanted to see.
What's that?
We got done with Meg's first race and immediately wanted to see her run a second one.
She's already extending. I know. She's like, I've been helping Meg a little bit. I think I told you a little bit with her training.
Yeah.
And like the plan going for her on this was just to be aggressive. Like she felt like she had more in the tank after last, and just felt like she was conservative. And she's just like a very aggressive athlete. So it's like, all right, go for it.
I love what we're getting from Dylan here. We're getting a lot of good angles.
Yeah, what? All you see is the inside of my leg. Come on, it's not that bad. I'm over here changing shoes. I'm getting ready to race. I wanted to tune in and watch the women's race. My goodness, guys.
It's good.
I asked you about the venue a second ago, but I didn't hear you because my shit was all a mess. What tell us about it a little bit. It's better than New York.
Yeah, better than New York. We're looking at a 3-lap course. Based on what I'm seeing from the rock zone, it should be really fast. Particularly from the times I saw earlier today, it looks like really quick in and out transitions. Talked with Megan before the race as well. She seems pretty confident. And we got Vivian Safudos out there. She'll be pretty good.
Oh, nice. Who's in second right now?
You know what? Honestly, I'm trying to see. I do not know who that is.
We'll be able to pull up a name after
the first split.
After the first split.
I hate not knowing this. The form even looks semi-familiar. She either runs like someone we've seen before, or she is someone we've seen before. But I can't stand when we can't see the face and I don't know the athlete. It feels real bush league, Rich.
I mean, this is pretty bush league what we're doing right now, Brakken. In case you didn't know, we're just
Dylan, what are you lacing up over there?
We're going with the Nike Windflow 9s. they're I would say that they're kind of like the level below the Pegasus,
All right,
but
we got Meg going at a 157 pace.
You're wearing like,
I'm not
did you
sure
get it
if
at
that's the
Kohl's?
same, but
Ashley,
Where'd you
right
get those
as
things?
well.
Ashley Hoon?
I got him at Ashley Hoon. I don't know who that is.
Meg,
Um,
Ashley, thank you. Hyrox Haley.
So Ashley Hoon is either super fit or she's going to be in a world of hurt. There's Alyssa.
Meg's at 300.
I mean, Ashley looks like she knows what she's doing on the
Ashley's
skier.
at 275. Alyssa's at 220, 230.
So you got the Bush League Pegasus on, huh?
I got the Bush League Pegasus on. Honestly,
It's a
little
I like the
But every
I like that patterning right here for the
Yeah,
sled
almost-
pushes and pulls.
all-
So I chose them over the Pegasus because of that, and they run pretty well.
That's something I haven't quite like how much the weight, like how much like a plate or something that feels real racy. How much
Yeah.
that actually matters in a high rock.
See, I don't
fast on the
race
mat.
with the plate. I don't race with the plate. I don't worry too much about the shoes being. If they're over like 10 ounces, then no. But if they're like in the 9, 8 area,
You gotta
that's
get the
fine.
lungs warmed up, you know?
But I'm excited.
I'm
I'm gonna go out there and start warming up in a minute. But I just
I
wanted
did
to watch
last
for a
time.
second with you guys.
She's back
Let
to
y'all
shit,
know that the venue feels good in here. It's not super hot. It's not. I don't think it's gonna be overly crowded, and we should have a pretty fast race today.
7 right now.
Get after him, my man.
All right,
Crush
guys.
it, Dylan.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man.
Now, Rich, I've only run
Meg
4
just
Hyrox.
past the halfway point.
So I haven't been able to test out every combination of footwear, which you know I want to do. But I kind of look at this like more of a half marathon or an ultra, the way you'd recommend shoes for someone. It's not about the shoe that you feel fast in on rep number 1. It's about what shoe you can run strong in the second half. The 6K, the 7K, the 8K, that shoe, that is the one you choose as long as it already fits that column of does not hurt me on the sled.
Taylor.
That's the thing,
Actually,
though, right? Like the shoes that are built for half marathon and marathon now are basically super shoes, and super shoes. I don't know why they do concern themselves so much with weight because they're not light to begin with, but they just strip away the rubber on the bottom. You know, and it's a lot of exposed foam, which is just worse for the grip on this. So that's where I've had a hard time figuring it out. And they're stacked really high, so they're not generally great on these tipping turns.
Yeah.
So would you say like a train? Like I'm almost thinking like just like a trainer.
What did the everyman race halves and full marathons in prior to super shoes? They were in the lightweight trainer category.
I guess.
A6 gel DS trainer,
Mm-hmm.
like the Brooks Hyperion Tempo. Probably, I think you and I both agree that's right up there. It's light, a little bouncy, but you got some grip to it. I don't know how. I mean, I think if you got, for example, what are we on? This shoe here, this Puma Fast R,
Yeah.
got
Love
some
that
tread
bag.
on the bottom.
It looks like Meg's going out.
That kind of
Megan's
thing.
out.
That's probably what you
We'll
want.
stay with the top 3.
But there's just so few shoes like that out there that have any bottom on it. It negates all your running capability. Let's say you run 5 seconds faster per 1,000. That's like the best you're going to get out of a super shoe, and that's maybe generous. You're going to lose those 5 seconds every 12 and a half meters on the sleds.
Oh yeah, like it would put you completely out of the race.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It is hard to figure out like
All right,
where
let's go catch up
the
with the
line
winner.
is for that, like what's like appropriate, like because like it could be like Dylan, like yeah, the shit's called in the famous footwear Nikes. They kind of are, right? Like, do you even get those shoes that he has at a specialty shop?
You get those at Nike Outlet.
Right. So it's like,
Go find
but
Megan.
they have grip and it works, and that like that's going to be more important. So they're showing second place right now.
Got a pass already though.
I mean,
One was looking strong on the skier, but now she's making the pass in the second.
if we don't know if this person who got past who's in third now, this might be her first Hyrox ever.
All right, let's go find
So to go out
Megan.
with Meg, who's
Let's see where
just her
she's at.
second Hyrox, but she's like built for this and is
Yeah.
being aggressive today, she might be in a world of hurt.
Any slide.
Alyssa just came through in 7th, maybe.
Tyler?
Oh, what she got there?
Okay.
But it's a group. There's a pack of 4 right there, and the 3 ahead are probably only 5 seconds ahead. So she's always about going out in control, just live to fight another day, and she's obviously doing that right now.
It's kind of how she races, though, right? Like, especially in this venue. Was she like that in Spartan? Here comes Meg.
Yeah, she was a closer. Meg's flying.
She's just like looks the part. Like, she looks like she should be in first place. She is. Like, let's see how she did. Last time at the sled, she went in and went unbroken. She just like back and forth. I think she was unbroken for all of it. And passed a lot.
You just look at her and realize she was a runner first before she was a power athlete. You start as a power athlete, you can learn to run well. But when you run really, really well, you generally have to start, and that's the thing you spend a lot of your life doing. She clearly has that. Whereas as she's became a different type of athlete now, her running's still there. She just has a smoother version of her running than you would see out of most power athletes.
Totally. Like she, I mean, she was a Division I athlete. She ran at UConn for a couple years, and I think she ended up transferring to Binghamton, which is closer to home. She told me her PRs. I don't have them off the top of my head, but yeah, she just got into lifting. Do you think? Because I've been thinking about this a little bit. Like, what is a better formula for the highest level of Hyrox athlete? Do you think it's like a team sport athlete that made like a field sport athletes, soccer, footballers for the UK, people out here, and then who then put some endurance training like specifically for Hyrox later? Or someone like Meg, endurance athlete, turned powerlifter, turned Hyrox?
I don't know. I think the skill set that you keep reverting to is the one you want the most time spent doing. So I think the run matters still enough that I'd rather see an endurance athlete put in like 10 years of power work than a power athlete put in 10 years of run work. So I don't know if you ever catch that back up, but I mean,
like soccer or something, where it's like you get a little bit of both, you know, like there's a bit of a strength component, there's a big endurance component, some speed. They just aren't like versed in endurance training and racing, but like they might have the pieces.
I don't have the answer. I think this is the tipping point. This sport of Hyrox is the 50-50. I think whichever one you start in, I think you can get to the other one. I think DECA, I think OCR, those versions of OCR are hybrid. I think it's best to be a runner, but maybe this is the one where it doesn't matter where you start.
It might not. All right, Meg's coming in on the sled push. See how these things move for her.
We have a lot of comments going right now. Everyone's upset about the fast lane having all the open people in it. Is there ever going to be a time where they can keep people out of that lane?
I mean, you must imagine people who are doing open just have no idea what's happening behind them. These athletes are coming up so fast, and like, unless they designate and like put them there, like they're not gonna just stay there. They're gonna do what's shortest for them.
If I remember correctly, she's already using a different sled technique.
I agree. She's doing the elbow pits. Now she switched to the shoulder.
I do like, if you can go unbroken the way that we saw her go unbroken, I like switching back and forth techniques. It just changes the angle on your legs and it changes the stress on your arms. So I think that's the best way to do it.
I think so too, because like if your elbow pits, you're gonna get a little bit more glutes. Your low back might get a little bit more beat up. If you're able to do it with pushing from your shoulders, it's gonna be a little bit more quad centric. Meg's done with the first two legs at 105. This is Annie Schiller in second, who's been crushing the stadium.
Yeah,
that's like you gotta like that.
She's got a Lauren look to her.
What's that? Yeah,
she's got a Lauren look to her on that sled. So this woman here is really, she's getting the Dylan Scott real low, real hunched over it.
I think that's
the polls you can see are just so much higher this season.
Next coming back on her last length. You got to go back one more time.
That's the first break that we've seen from her.
She's also on that far outside lane, which is the worst lane.
It can be. You can see like the carpet can bunch up a little bit more. It doesn't seem to be too much of that.
No. I'm not saying it is bad. It just can be the worst.
It can be. It definitely can be. So let's 202 now. This is a break. She might be overextending on this. But this is like, she's kind of a volume monster. And I think if you have enough volume put in, You can get in over your head and kind of
Yeah,
Where-
it's funny to think of a power sport needing this sort of volume, but you do.
yeah, right. Like it's not that intuitive to kind of put that in, but she's still pushing this thing. Usually when people are getting overextended on this, it's 5 to 6 steps and a break.
So we have Schiller 2. Is Hoon still in 3, then Alyssa 4, Amanda 5, or is
I think it's Vivian in third. I think Vivian's in third.
So Hoon might be all the way out of the top 5 at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know. It's 250 on the actual push itself, so her
We're gonna stay with
time
the
with
top
Roxanne's
3 women.
probably closer to like 3.5.
So we have Annie
She has a full length plus.
coming in on her
field.
last push here.
Yeah, that's
Not
not
sure who she is.
that's not Hoon there.
That's it, Ian.
Just a simple gimbal.
Yeah, Vivian's gonna be like she seems to be catching up on Annie. I think this is Annie's first Hyrox,
Okay,
so
Vivian.
she also might be out a little bit too.
It's Annie and Vivian.
Yeah. Although she's on her way back.
Yeah, she's not like doesn't look she's getting crushed. She looks like how everyone else looks like. Vivian's taking a couple steps in a break.
Dylan Scott.
Meg
Yeah.
just hammered that thing.
We said it right from the beginning, right? Meg's got the look of a world champ, or at least a world champ contender. And this is how everyone else looks when they do Hyrox. This is how I look when I do Hyrox. This is how you probably feel when you do Hyrox. Very few people have the ability to weaponize the sleds. Meg has that world champ look to her.
This tall
Look at the
athlete-
running though, right here.
This tall athlete with the blonde hair. This is who we saw pass. I forget the Hoon
Make sure you
on
go
that
up the out,
first
make
on
sure
that
you go up
second
the out.
run or so.
Is that who we're saying Annie is?
No, Annie is
Let's find Meg real quick.
definitely fourth.
She's coming around her first lap. Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let me see if I can pull up some splits here.
Always.
You got
She's
some,
already
you got-
coming up on lapping the chase pack.
Oh, is she in? She's in sight.
Yeah,
Oh, there
she's,
she is. Yeah.
so Meg's gonna lap the chase pack within the next run or station. She's only 10 seconds down to the chase pack on this lap.
Her running might look a little bit more labored, a little bit slower maybe.
Yeah, I think
Or
that
does she
sled
still
was
seem
tough.
okay. I wonder if she can catch him here. This is 3 laps per
Clear the fast lane! Clear the fast lane!
1,000. Yeah, that low ceiling. That I think that might trap a little bit more here. Dylan said it was feeling good in there, which is nice.
Yeah, running underneath that overhang certainly could.
Let's see. You got people out there?
Got a few people
Oh.
here.
That's Carly Wopat, who I first heard of
Okay.
at Battle Bunker. I think she was 4th or 5th at Battle Bunker. I think she won the footwear event. So yeah, it looks like she had the fastest sled push. She was 303. Meg was 310. And then a couple of athletes in there.
Carly's running.
Is she? Because I don't think running is her deal. Sorry, I was on the other. I was on
You're
the other
talking the
side.
tall blonde one, right?
Yeah, very tall.
Yeah, we saw her make 2 moves on the run already. She skied strong, came off the run, and went right around Hoon, and then right there we just saw her pass. I don't think that was Vivian. Like who she just passed, but she looks like. My guess is she's up in second now.
Getting this far into a run after the sled push actually feels kind of good. And after the first time I ran Hyrox, you were there in Orlando. My first lap, I vividly remember you saying, "It's going to get better."
You remember hearing that?
I do, and I was like, "Yeah, well, it can't get worse." So.
Well, that's the tricky thing about this is when you feel that feeling in normal racing, that's the signal that your body's shutting down and death is imminent.
Yes.
But here, it can get better, and it just doesn't seem sensical at the time that it can come back from this, because it never gets better after you feel bad.
Meg, that was Vivian that she was right on the heels of as she went in. And Vivian right now is the 4th seed in Decafit going for the World Championships. So and Vivian is very, very good. So
Is
Meg
Noob Sanity?
She's got to watch that. They got to correct her. Yeah,
she's new. I'll give her that. Is Noob Sanity the new powerhouse team? Hybrid
people,
racing?
it seems like these people are like, I was thinking about this today, the Noob Sanity folks, like, it's not that the name Noob Sanity kind of like fits the event that they do. They're just like crazy people. They just like
like-minded and like skills. They even have a similar frame in a lot of them. They're tall, broad athletes who pack on strength well, keep their running ability, and they all seem to like to just do a lot.
That is certainly
Train early, train often, do these big events. They do well on multi-events. And Hyrox basically is a multi-stage event. So yeah, they just do this.
They just do work, man.
Meg,
They really do.
cheering you on right now.
She looks pretty good here. She's really strong. So this is an area that she just doesn't know that much about. And it's like kind of hard to practice this like exactly. Like the rope's a little bit different. The carpet we talk about a ton. She's knowing the pace off of, but she seems to be doing pretty well right now. I think this can be frustrating for people too because it's kind of slow. Like it's not something that you're like flying through and like you don't really know how you're doing. It's like we were talking about on OCR. Like you don't really know how you're doing unless you're comparing it to other people. Like she's in there all by herself.
Well, what do you feel about this deep, but almost put the ground catch and pull here? Because it recruits a ton of muscle, but it's really good leverage. Is this worth that type of effort to you?
If that's the only way that you can pull the sled, like, yeah, I think so. Like, if you need to get all that power in there, like you're seeing, like Vivian, who's like how she's not getting as low, and she's just really pulling back and using her leverage of her body weight. She's a bigger, stronger athlete in the field, so she can just kind of like lean back and into it. Meg might be doing a little bit more than required for her. She's not. She's very strong, right? But I don't know if her size is necessarily going to lend her to just like lean back. But like right there, she was able to.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of how I pull it. I get really low and I just kind of try to move the thing to move it as fast as possible.
I suppose your training style plays into that as well. If you're doing a lot of CrossFit, if you're doing a lot of deep squatting, if you're doing a lot of pistol work, if getting butt low below your calves isn't weird to you, then that's not going to lead to blowing up. But it's the kind of thing that if you're not used to that, it will lead to like 3 or 4 pounds down the road, your legs are shot.
Yeah, that might be when you're cramping at burpee broad jumps, right? You might have done a little bit too much.
Yeah.
So this is Annie with the colored shorts. It looks like Vivian is again making a bit of a move on her on the sled as she did in the sled push. Let's see if she can hold on again. But yeah, I mean,
slower movement.
With the sled pull,
Getting down and back up before you start the move, it's a little slower.
I think it's slower too. You probably move it a little bit more each pull, though, right?
I would think so. I think that you got more space to work with, essentially. You can get more rope pulled across.
I would probably honestly like to see Meg like hinge a little bit further forward to then pull it back. Like she's getting low and getting that leverage, but then isn't.
It's gone. Did you get a clock on that?
So. Is that it?
Yeah.
What do we got here?
Mr. Kent.
Hey, buddy.
What's up, fellas?
How the heck are you?
Is that down to hustle or Hyrox?
Let's go for our next poll.
Drop the hammer.
Down to
Hyrox. That should be your shirt for Train More Hybrid. Just say down to Hyrox.
It's a beard we have going.
Working on it.
It's his Decafit beard. He's not going to shave it until after Decafit Championships.
Yeah, you got to come to New Jersey.
I gotta come in like I'm the teacher, and I gotta walk up.
Meg's out.
Elbow pads on your. Is that what your race kit's going to look like? professor jacket with elbow pads on there.
Rex Specs.
What we got going on here, boys?
A whooping.
Meg
Annie
Jacoby's
looks like she's going-
really laying it thick early.
finishing
She's
up
out
right
really,
now.
really hard. Your homie Vivian Tafuto's in second.
I'm gonna go hop in
And
with
then
Meg on her
Amy
next
Schiller
lap.
is in third. Alyssa Holly's in like fourth. But yeah, there's Vivian right here. Wahoo. Where are you at, man?
Lead the race?
Meg Jacoby. This is her second ever. There goes Vivian.
Okay.
How many Hyroxes has Vivian done?
I don't think many. I think she did one and got whooped, like in like maybe 3. She did the North American Championships last year, held on for a strong first half and fell apart late.
Fast guy.
Her first event, I think she did in 2021, was like really slow. But she's gotten much better. So I think this is her third. I think Bradken's right. There goes Meg. Can you see on your phone on this, Kent?
Yeah.
This is
Trying to
Meg.
figure out how to make it bigger. But
Are you talking through your AirPods? Because it sounds
Yeah.
like shit.
you want me to take it out?
Yeah.
Meg's one of those people you can't tell if she's running 5:30, 6 minutes, 6:30, 7 minute.
She probably does look like that when she runs easy, when she's doing 200s.
Dude,
She's not qualified for DECA, right?
She came across DECA too late. She's qualified for DECA Mile. She like drove 5 hours to do a DECA Mile, ended up with like the second fastest time. It's kind of opposite sides of her. Like she's very much endurance-y, at least at this part of her career. So, but I think DECA Miles at the end of the day after a long weekend. So I think she will be a problem for the athletes to handle the DECA Mile.
She looks the part. Absolutely.
Yeah, if you had to design someone in a lab, you'd design Meg Jacoby.
Yeah, so I'm gonna see if I can pull a split up on here. Ken, what do you at? What do you?
What's her PR?
66, 30, but she only did one, and it was that minute and a half penalty. Wait, 3 minute penalty. How long
3 minute penalty.
She had that 3 minute penalty. So I think like without that penalty, she'd probably like 64, 30 or something like that.
Did you ask where I was?
Yeah, where you at?
I'm out in Evergreen.
Are you running?
Yeah, I just finished up like 10 and a half miles on the trails.
Nice.
Yeah,
No
about
invite?
2,000 feet of vert.
No invite? What's the deal? I'm not
Hey,
doing
man.
shit.
You never want to train with me. We've tried.
That's not true. I'm down for easy runs.
Speaking of ducking people, why isn't Hunter doing a DECA?
I mean,
He knows.
I think he thinks it's a joke, honestly.
Does he have anything for you in DECA?
I don't know, man. That'd be a close race for sure.
DECA Mile would be close.
Yeah. That would be his event, I think. Deca strong, too. He'd have to lose some of that muscle mass if he wanted to keep up and Deca fit, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he would hammer the station so much, but like I think we talked about it.
Yeah,
Right?
make sure you get.
What's he gonna do? Roll 132? You know, like, is that even worth it? Like, can he could probably scale, 135 or something like that. But like, it's not that much faster than everybody else, and it's like a lot of power to put out there.
The way she's doing burpee broad jumps right now is how I like to do them.
I'd like to see her chest up a little bit more. Like watch how she's landing, puts her, and her chest comes right down. I would like to see it like land and have the butt sink first, just to keep the airway open.
She's doing good form reps.
These are definitely like the internet is happy with these reps.
Yeah. Well, let's not say that. Internet will find the flaw in everything.
I'm not happy about. I'm not happy
They
about shit.
remain undefeated from the armchair.
Even though this weighs a little more taxing, I prefer it over kind of the step up technique, just for the mental part of that. Kind of like when you're power hiking versus running up a trail. It's like the moment you start power hiking,
I'll make it
This is
sound.
new.
the wheels just kind of come off.
She just jumped like 7 feet for that last burpee broad jump. I think that was a little bit much.
In my second Hyrox, I reached out an extra 8 inches, I think, on a weighted lunge, and that was the end of my race. The moment I went over that one little extra spot, I was done. I didn't come back from that for the next 25 minutes.
Is this at the Navy Pier or no?
No, this
No.
is the new spot, Naperville, I think.
It's not even in Chicago. Chicagoland? What can you tell us about Naperville, Bracken? You're
It's
the
college
man
town.
on.
Beautiful towns, college town, North Central College, one of the best outdoor track environments you could ever hope to find in America. We used to run twilight meets at their outdoor track every May at night, guaranteed PR. Got a pretty little downtown, Rich. Nice little paved streets.
Isn't there's or no, what am I thinking? What's the running store? It's like a legendary running store. Is it Naperville or is it, what's another Chicagoland suburb?
In a couple minutes.
Yeah,
Bustling
Dick Pond Athletics.
I think they started.
No, it's called like the Town Running Company or Fleet Feet, the Town.
So we're gonna stay with the women, and then we'll switch over to the men.
Bracken, what's
Once
this
the
talk
first
about
place
you
woman
being
finish-
injured again, man?
Man, we don't need to discuss any of this. We're here to
talking
talk
Like
about these
Vivian's in
women.
second place.
We're talking about high rocks.
We'll go check up on her though,
I
right?
have quadricep
That's actually
tendinopathy.
the shoot.
I'll be right as rain in 6 weeks.
The big jump. Let's see if she can get out. Okay, she transitioned pretty well back into the run, but she did get quite a break.
I got it.
I was telling Bracken before,
okay?
like I know Meg pretty well. I've been helping her a little bit with the training, and her plan was to be super aggressive in this race. She felt like she held back a little bit last race, so here's Vivian.
That is not a good sight.
It's a long rest on the bottom.
Yep.
If you're gonna rest, the bottom is where to do it though. You don't want to be standing up and resting, just because who knows when you're gonna start your next rep. At least when you're on the ground, you're like halfway done with the rep,
So it looks like Alyssa's jumped into third place.
and like
I disagree.
It feels more. It feel like that's well. Last Hyrox I saw Bracken do, you did rest on the ground outside of burpee broad jumps.
Well, yeah, that's the
You
place to do it.
volunteered to just lay flat on the ground. So maybe I'm wrong in the fact that you won't lay on the ground longer because you might feel silly.
I think that if you're going to rest, you
We have
might as well
Vivian,
expand and
Alyssa.
breathe. And when you hit the ground on a burpee, if you can pop up, it doesn't
Nah.
require full arm engagement.
I'll let
But
you
if you
guys
rest,
know when I
that's
see
a hand
Meg
release
Bracken
push up, and now
corner.
you are pushing back up. So
She's gonna be
I'd
out
rest
here
at the
any
top.
second now.
I think it's more of a mental
Unless I
thing.
missed her
If
already,
you're
but I
resting
could've missed her.
at the top, like
Oh, there she is.
there's no incentive. You might just like keep resting there. You might just like be hunched over and breathing and breathing and breathing. If you're on the ground, you're like, all right, I gotta get up.
If you're worried that you're not going to start your next rep, your race is already done.
Yeah, I really think
You've
Alyssa
done a
played the
Hyrox,
game smart
correct?
here. The other field
Yeah.
is full of it looked like
She's
some
making the
stronger
most
people
out of
last
these jumps, though. She's getting
Yeah.
a
good
little bit more
distance.
strength on that pull and push, so she just kind of
So what's your take, Ken? Would you sacrifice jump length for a little bit of efficiency, or would you rest more and jump harder?
Speak for itself here.
I couldn't understand that. Graham and you were kind of talking at the same time.
Would you sacrifice jump length for quicker, more efficient reps, or would you do slower, more powerful reps and rest more?
And Alyssa's coming
I go
through.
the quicker route. I don't get as I probably do
But,
more burpees than most
Let's
of
go
the guys.
catch Meg on her last lap.
Just
What's that
because I
mean?
don't get
Coming around the
as much
corner any second
distance
now.
on my jumps.
So as soon as
Oh,
I
they're
see
in
her,
actually. I thought you meant in training. I thought you were talking
I'm gonna
shit.
go.
Like,
and
look, I do
follow her
more-
and track
I do
her
more
down on her last
burpees.
lap before she heads into rowing.
Do more lifting, do more rowing.
You guys might have run 57, but I did extra reps. Burpee.
I've tried the step up technique. It just doesn't work for me.
It's a
like
rhythm
it.
thing.
I like it much
I'm gonna head
better.
out.
There's Alyssa.
I haven't been able to get into a good rhythm where I feel like it's worth the energy savings yet.
The step up.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think if it was a burpee mile, I would step up.
For sure.
But I haven't yet gotten to like a fast, good rhythm. It feels disjointed.
Ken, did you get a chance to chat with Carly Wopat at all at Battle Bunker?
A little bit.
She's out. She's out at this race today. She was doing pretty well. I don't know exactly where she is.
Oh, really? Wow.
Annie Schiller had a tough pull.
She did extremely well in FUBAR, so she's got the endurance as well. So I mean,
yeah, does she? That's not something I wasn't sure of.
Specific training, she could be potentially dangerous.
Because she kind of looks the part too, right? Like a strong.
She's like
athlete.
Hunter. She looks like a hunter. Honestly.
Really? She's just tall. If this feed cuts out, we can just replay this lap here, and it'll work for any one of her stations. You cannot tell what stage of the race she's in. She just looks the same, and she doesn't even look. You can't even gauge her speed until you see her moving past people, and you realize, man, she's flying.
So her burpee broad jumps were just under 3 minutes, 2:58. I think her last. Because remember, Brakken, when in New York, the burpee broad jumps is where she found out that she did one less lap. Mm-hmm. So she like stopped, kind of looked around, and I think her burpee broad jumps were like in the high 3s. So like her pace is faster.
What do you think her goal is here today? Do you think it's to run fast or just win?
I think both.
She wants to set the world record. She's coming into all of these like. She's like, I'm gonna set the world record.
Weird like that. She's got a bit of that Lauren mentality where I just want to get to the front and work hard. And I don't know her personally, but watching her race and then talking to Rich, who does know her a bit, she just seems to be a lead dog.
Yeah.
That's an aggressive start there.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to be showing much fatigue on this rower.
I was having a conversation about this with someone who has a bit more of a rowing background the other day about how he's like, man, it's really tough to watch people in hybrid sports row. I was like, yeah, I can understand that. A lot of our form is atypical. Some people's form is just bad. But I personally think if you row technically correctly, if you're a proficient rower, it's not the perfect rowing form for Hyrox. Because it's way too much leg drive to be able to handle the lunges that are coming and the runs before and after. Like, I think you have to have, rather than going 11-1 with your upper body, I think you've got to go back to 2 or 230. I think you have to engage arms a little more in order to be able to balance out the other stations. So what's your take on that?
Well, all can't go. I mean, that's kind of what Meg has done that a little bit too much, I think, in the past, where she just opens hips over her legs completely, and then you kind of lose a lot of that power. But that's a good point. Cam was actually playing around with something like that. I don't know if it's a secret, but he was doing some stuff like that for DECA stuff recently with the same kind of idea.
Exactly. So I've noticed that if you're taking less strokes and more powerful strokes, the fatigue in your leg just builds up a lot more. If you take shorter, quicker strokes, I think most of the stress goes to your upper body and your glutes, and you're able to save those quads for the other parts of the race.
And it's
she's under. Real quick, I think she's under 155 right now.
Really?
Yeah.
We're right at that 40
Girl's hauling.
She's murdering.
It is tricky because that's what CrossFit got criticized for years is, they Olympic lifters, like they're doing crappy reps and stuff like that. So, yeah, but when you start doing it for volume, sometimes it is technically correct to change your form for longevity's sake.
I've even alternated, 100 meters one way, 100 meters the next.
Yeah.
Just kind of switch up where the fatigue is going.
That makes sense. And I suppose that DECA, that would play out just as much, where it's only 500, but you don't want to be smoked through your quads afterwards. If you can squeeze in a few extra reps with a little less range of motion, maybe that's okay.
It's just so early.
Yeah, she really opens up though. I mean, she opens her upper early.
I think it's too early.
She's almost moving her shoulders and knees at the same time.
All right, we got Vivian coming in.
Right. That's actually an improvement.
Second right now.
Yeah. She used to be almost all hips. And would just like
she
really
dropped her damper down to a 2.
This is an example.
She's on a mission.
Yeah. This is an example, though, here on screen of what I'm talking about, like a Hyrox rowing, where she's not extending fully, and she's doing faster reps, which usually you wouldn't really want, and she's opening up a little bit, but it looked like a good, solid Hyrox style of row.
I think it's just to get her heart rate down
Vivian's in the
before she
mix,
gets
man.
back on that run.
This is a good performance so far from her. Like, she hasn't put together a Hyrox quite yet, but she's fit this year, man. She has that swimmer mentality where, like, you can't do enough volume.
She's still 155.
Vivian.
So Vivian puts in work. I think like how with an endurance background like us three, like volume isn't always the answer to get better at
Almost
running.
300. Alyssa just got
There needs to be this balance of
Meg is
recovery
just heading out now.
and intensity with like the slow easy volume Megan's out. But swimmers, man, they never need that
Alyssa
point where
is
they
almost
need to
1,000
rest
meters back. She's just getting on the rower while
It's
Meg
just so low impact
back
that they can just go and go and go.
Mhm.
But running just beats you down so much that you get to a point where your body's going to kind of shut you down, so you actually do recover. So Vivian, I think, is kind of a volume monster. So I would think that she would do well in Hyrox this year.
Good to see Alyssa out
No,
here.
the women
Yeah.
have their dampers set at 6, but they can change it once.
And
they
really,
have
the
where they're-
people who have gone in on Hyrox volume have done well in Hyrox. You know, Ryan, you did more volume than what a couple people around you were doing, and then you came out North American champs. You know, you were training, like you were running for a Mountain Beast for a while there, combined with Hyrox. Dylan goes all in on volume.
So it looks like
Hunter
Meg
lives a crazy
actually
life
on
of
one
volume.
minutes right now.
Lauren Weeks is a volume monster. These people who go in on volume, it pays out here because you can dip into the red and come back.
She's so strong though that I think she's gonna make it up on the lunges.
The volume, in my opinion, volume
Now you can go both ways.
allows
Rower damper. You can go
wiggle
up and
room
down.
for when a race goes bad.
I like
All
that.
right. I'm gonna keep my eye on Megan.
Yeah, because when you're
So she's
when you're an
grabbing the first
intensity-based
lap right
athlete,
now.
low volume, high intensity, you can nail a race just as well
I'm
as
gonna
anyone
stay
else.
with the 2 and 3
you
women
can't
for
have
one
things
more
go
lap,
wrong.
and then I'm gonna go hop in with her.
Because once you tip, you're done.
You can be successful off, low volume, high intensity. You can be successful off high
How about
volume,
9
low
seconds? So
intensity.
she's on pace.
But when you can raise your volume and your intensity at the same time, that's
All
when
right, so Vivian's
fitness starts to
resting
pop.
750
Yeah,
right now.
that's where it's like really kind of destructive for just straight up runners, like trying to raise both up at the same time. That's where I found in the past, like people really get injured. But in hybrid, like you can just put that intensity. I think this is Carly coming in now. She seems to be fading a little bit. But in hybrid, you can put that intensity in so many different places. You can up the frequency so much more
What up,
than
Wes?
you could with a general endurance sport.
Welcome
So
to the party.
fitness that we're going to see people probably come Decafit World Championships, it'd be craziness, right? Sub 27.
All right,
I sure hope not.
wait for Megan to come around. As soon as I see
I do believe sub
Yes,
28
okay.
will
Let's
happen.
go get her.
It's going to depend on the tank, honestly.
She's
If it's
very
spinning
fast right now.
like it's spun at West Palm,
Right.
then I
She's
think
looking
so.
up
But if
now.
it's
I think
spinning
she
how
knows
it's
where
spun in
she's
like
at.
Chicago,
She's
probably
passed
not.
away
Or how
halfway
it
point.
spins.
Adrenaline's
what they
kicking
need
in.
to do is get, I think
She
we
knows
talked
where
about
she
Kent, just
is.
get mats to roll out or a turf to roll
And
out so that they
we're
can
gonna
take
chase it.
the slipperiness of the concrete
Looks like
out
the
of it.
men's pros already
Because
kicked
at
off
West Palm, that
too.
shit was just
So we're
sliding.
gonna have a little bit more crowd
It
control
was
here.
Meg murdering dudes.
But
Now, I love this cameraman. He just
Graham.
puts in work,
Yeah.
and he's always happy and chatting. But he just said she's past halfway, adrenaline's kicking in. I don't think that function exists. I don't think you hop off that run after the row on in Hyrox and you get an adrenaline shot.
Oh, let me see. Do you want to keep Graham on the I think I can mute. Hold on. Did the sound go away for you guys now?
Yeah,
Is
it
the
went
sound
away.
gone?
Yeah.
Do you want the sound gone or do you want Graham? Because I can't hear it at all because I am I've muted the page. But do you want the sound or no? Is
I
it
say
helpful?
no.
No sound. Just us, boys.
I like the ambiance, but I don't know what people can hear on us.
Oh yeah.
I get that.
Let me ask the people.
Ask them.
Man, so
You've been working.
that
You've
run,
been getting
that
fast.
run after the row is one of the hardest runs of the entire event, in my opinion.
You think
And
so?
she's just looking strong.
I kind of like the run after the row because naturally I
Did
like
you-
to because I'm
Did you
just going
row
to
at
disagree.
too flat?
Well, because I like to disagree with everything Kent says, and I row super slow. But like I feel like my heart rate comes down when I'm sitting, right? Like it's a more advantageous way for blood to flow when you're horizontal, at least some part of you. Like if I'm doing row intervals, my heart rate is way lower than what we would be doing run intervals. And actually, when I get off of the rower, that's when it spikes.
You know, I haven't done a Hyrox since implementing that new technique I've been working on. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Just the amount of blood that was going to my quads for like a 1K in the middle of this race and then coming off, it was just.
Alyssa's looking good moving by there. Looks like she's up at the front of that group now that she came in with.
We got mixed reviews on the sound or no sound.
I'll tell you what, there's not mixed reviews on. Some guy a couple comments back commented, "I'd date her if I could catch her." Man, get out of here.
Could you just not? Yeah. Like
that's the one thing holding you back from catching her dating. Is that you're just not fast enough to.
Is your aerobic capacity? Or maybe
she has this standing offer. If you can grab me, yeah, we'll date. Come on, get out of here.
Yeah, maybe it's that you can't look past that she's a female and you're a male. Fucking dummy.
Bro, I set these things down or no? She's going all the way, huh?
She's not gonna want to. There were some comments in the Instagram saying that she's like 20 some seconds back from the world record after the row.
I thought she was clear of the record by 25.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
So she's in and out.
You don't get better than that on that.
She's freakishly good at wall balls too.
Long farmer's carry.
It doesn't sound it until you do it in the middle of competition and realize it's so nasty.
It really is.
Yeah, she's very strong at lunges and wall balls. She's actually passed, like burpee broad jumps is probably the area where, and the sled pull is the areas that she like looks forward to the least. So she actually likes these next two stations.
It's just
and how does Linda do on her wall balls?
It seems to have been better this year. I think she's under 4.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Linda's just good this year.
Yeah, she's taken that next step.
But she kind of does them the way I do them. She doesn't have the greatest form. She just kind of muscles her way through them. I wonder how Jacoby's going to do on those. I've never seen her do wall balls.
I think she's a monster.
It's good. Yeah.
I watched her once and it was good. And it was her first Hyrox. Like who looks good on their first 100 at the end of a Hyrox? Ryan, how did you do in Miami on your first 100?
It wasn't good.
Yeah. I was doing reps of 1 by the end, trying not to pass out.
Those wall balls are they're just a question mark almost every single time. I mean, even when I was winning that North American Championships, like anything can happen in 100 wall balls.
Yeah.
You know, you could lose so much time. But if it's a feather in your cap, man, it's game over.
Chris Rogloski not racing today. I thought she was racing.
Ryan, that day in Miami, I came in. Jack Bauer had already taken a poop break and then caught back up to me. And I'm on like rep 64 of the wall ball, and I'm bent over looking at the ground, trying to decide if I'm going to live or not. And I look up and Faye Stenning's leaning against the fence, and she just looks at me like she'd be talking to like a little kindergartner who's having a tough day. She's like, "Hey, I know it's really bad, but just try to get them done." Like, oh no, like, I'm not even getting pity applause or fake cheers. She's just like, "Hey, you're really, 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 really looking terrible and struggling.
You're embarrassing yourself.
You should just get done with it.
You will be more embarrassed if you don't finish. Please
just
finish.
My goodness.
Man, when you crack on those things, you're lucky to get 5 reps at a time.
Vivian might be going unbroken here too. She's in a clear second.
Yeah, she is.
And this is in front of Alyssa. Alyssa was 3rd at North American Championships last year. I think she was 5th at World Championships. Like, Alyssa's no joke, and she hasn't been in this race at all.
Mm-mm.
I like that she's doing this 2 weeks before DECA. I think that's a good move.
That's your move.
That is my move.
Yeah, go heavy before.
Yep.
Like a Graham.
Rich, when you have a chance,
catcher.
Check
Yeah.
up the row splits. I would guess Viv had a real solid row. She was looking strong on there.
Megan was 417 with the transition. Let me see where, and I think Carly was up there as well. Let's see.
When are these gentlemen starting here?
I think they're off.
They should be off. Vivian was 436 with transition. Annie Schiller was 432. Annie had a tough pull. She was 6 minutes plus. First time seeing the pull, like the stretchiness of the rope, just walking it back, you're probably falling down. That's one thing I think is really an area that like people don't understand is going to cost them, you know.
There's only 2 spots of real skill on course. and the rope pull is one of them. Just the skill of minding the rope, not falling, just not moving really slow in between it. It sounds foolish to say that the rope pull is one of the most technical aspects, but your first time through, people just give away so much time on that pull.
I'm not sure who's in third.
Dude, she's so aggressive. Like even in the rock zone, she ran all the way up to that sandbag.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not dawdling on that walk up either. She just gets to work. And you can tell some athletes get in, they start pounding out reps, but their hips are going side to side and their upper body's bobbing. She is just like a piston up and down. She's so stable.
Something I like about her form here is that she's able to get that bag kind of behind her shoulders. It's almost a trap, I think. If you get that bag onto your shoulders, it feels lighter right away, but it's going to put pressure and gravity down on your skeletal system and on your diaphragm each rep. And then you often see people kind of like when it's on top of them, they hit and then they like kind of do little like a good morning a little bit, right? Their butt kind of comes up first and they have to kind of straighten out their back, where hers is kind of behind her a little bit. And so it's like the weight is distributed a little bit behind her, more like a weight vest rather than like something heavy on the shoulders. She's rolling though.
Lean now to the left, but she's still strong.
A few wobbles, but she's looking strong.
She's still stepping through.
I like that. Let's get that hand down power hiking now.
That's another thing with it, but that's the thing with your way back like that. Like it cuts off the blood flow to that to your hands, and like you kind of feel like your grip is going,
and your shoulders can.
The fact that she's gone this far without pausing on any reps is very impressive.
Yeah. It's her second Hyrox. And her first was only a month ago?
Yeah. Yeah. In New York.
Like she's not even doing that quick tap, you know, it's just like
no.
These aren't short strides either. Look at her knee.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's extending out. She's not knee way over her toes. They're doing little short, rabbit reps. She's you can't extend out on a weighted lunge unless you're fully capable of powering through. No one can get up out of a hole out of that once you're cracked.
This is where the volume, we talked about volume before. Like this is where that volume really kind of pays off, I think, is the walking lunges and looks like one more length she has maybe.
Still unbroken.
She's fit for the test.
So their heat started at 240 Central.
I don't think you could do lunges faster than what she's doing right here.
So she at 55 minutes right now? No, I think you're right. Like if you're fresh,
faster, you're gonna blow up,
or you're not going to extend your hips or something. Like she's like
I keep waiting for men to come flying around.
So we got it's Dylan, Brent, I think.
Even when I do these in training,
look at that.
One extra
rep just to make sure.
Just for the internet. There you go, internet. How you like that?
Those are the best. Those are the best reps, start to finish, I've ever seen.
I try to throw that bag as far as I can from that pack, like see if I can get some extra air on it. And now she's running.
What were you gonna say, Kent? Even in training,
that I pause. Like after 50 meters, you got to throw in a pause every 5 or 6 reps, and she didn't do it once.
Every 25 reps, I'll try to shake my legs.
Yeah, even coming into her down, she almost started to shake her legs, but she did it while walking into the rep. She didn't stop one time.
Let's see.
No.
Let's see.
I don't like it. I don't like it
No-
one bit.
None of the women watching like it either. 303 for lunges.
Running after lunges too is something you can learn how to do that. For
Yeah, and you
sure.
can't prepare for that first one.
Like this one for me almost feels like running after the farmer's carry. Like you've done taking a load off and it feels nice to run.
You think so?
That's how I
This-
feel.
This one for me is always kind of rough.
This and
It's
row
like
are the worst.
you've just held 70 pounds on your back for 3 minutes plus, and then you throw it off. I mean, I feel light and ready to go.
I guess that speaks to whether you come through cracked or not.
True.
Yeah, Meg was 135 on farmers. Vivian was 133. Take that. Yeah, she's kind of doing that. That's shaking out as she's going down. She still looks strong.
She's a bit of an outward turning athlete, though, with her feet and her knees. That's kind of like her. She's got that
maybe
stride. She comes through on every stride like that.
You might be right.
If they don't start putting some sort of soft material underneath these carpet, your boy's going to have to retire in about a year because my knees get so jacked up doing this.
Dude, you got that reband hookup, just not taking advantage.
Just run the whole race in some knee sleeves.
I think my next one, I'm bringing Velcro knee pads. I'm keeping them in a naked belt, and I'm going to strap up for these.
Some volleyball pads.
Dude, I mean, it hurts so bad.
And that's the other place where, before you came on, we were talking shoes. That's the other place where a high stack shoe hurts you. You're doing deficit lunges at that point. Coming off of a 30 mil front stack or a 20 mil front stack compared to a 10.
That's true.
You feel every one of those mills going down into the ground and getting up out of the hole there.
And when Kent ran his 57.45?
Something like that.
Something like
pros.
Yeah, like you don't know. Yeah, those are the ones that were like all the way on the ground. That was probably the secret.
That's probably cheating.
To retire those shoes.
Almost broke your foot in Chicago Deca.
Did.
Yeah.
I started feeling like I had some, like, I don't know, maybe plantar fasciitis or something coming on.
He tried to get out of the team race. Like, no, dude.
Yeah, you're the one telling me, dude, we don't need to do this.
No, I was telling you didn't have to do the runs. You're like, I'm doing the runs. I was like, I can do them all. I can do all the runs. And just to get our record, just to set a record to then be broken, so wasn't worth it.
Who broke it?
Magida and Gaudet.
Gaudet.
Fast sleds though, West Palm. I don't even know how much they broke it by, but those fast sleds at West Palm.
I don't care what they had going. They could have cut out a lap there. You guys cannot sit with Magida and Gaudet breaking your record.
All right, Meg's coming in. Let's see what she's got. At
Somebody get a watch going.
I got one. At after New York, I got to talk to her. One of the first things she said is like she was pissed off that she didn't go unbroken. So let's see what she's got here.
I bet she gets 70
without a break.
I got
I say 43.
I'm gonna go with 90. I'm gonna go unbroken. I think she's going unbroken here. Yeah, I was gonna put I had a message lined up for everybody to put into this live stream just to let everybody so they can all not lose their collective minds during just so they can get it out of their system early. It's like, hey, let's all just freak out about people's depth while we're watching on the internet before, just in silence, and just not bring it up during the live stream. But Meg's depth is good.
I'm gonna make some people mad here, Rich. You ready?
Yeah.
I think that if you're going not great depth, it's harder. I think you're doing harder work because then you're using your muscles to break, catch, and start back up rather than bouncing out of the hole.
So
I
watch
think you're doing slower reps, and I think you're taking more muscular damage.
because
And if
Meg's
you're
using that stretch reflex at that bottom. If you watch.
stretch reflex. And if you're doing crappy reps and you're trying to get better and you're not, it's because you're cracking. You're not gaining an advantage. You're dying on every rep. The people that can bounce off their calves at the bottom, they're actually more efficient than people who are doing worse reps. I know I would never support bad reps, but I don't think it's a advantage to have someone next to you doing crappy reps.
I think Chris agrees. Smartest
right.
thing Brakken's ever said. Cheating is actually harder. So don't cheat. But it's not a bad point.
I had a dream before the the Hyrox World Championships that I was on the wall balls and I could not get the ball up to the target. I guess that'd be a nightmare, not a dream, but
every dream I've ever had about racing, I'm the slowest person in the entire race. Let's turn this on real quick, see if you guys hear what the count is. Because is anybody counting?
Now that she has her bro.
Yeah, I'm counting breaks. There it is. There it is. Frantic training, getting in there. Reps are great. She's doing great. The judge is doing a bad job.
81. Is that what it said? 83.
Wow.
85.
Let's go, Meg! Let's go! Nikki!
I don't know what the
9,
time's going to
90.
be.
Let's go!
He has looked the part today.
2, 93.
You go unbroken on this, and no one wants to race you.
No.
Because you know that you come in there, and best case scenario is you do something you've never done before, and you don't gain any time on her.
99. Let's see what total time is. 100. It's going to be really close to 63 and change. Got an arm raise.
Jeez. Her second Hyrox.
What are they saying? Was there time?
101.56.
101.56.
101?
Who's got her in our fantasy league?
Who you think?
Yeah, you got a little insider trading there.
Incredible, guys. Chicago, give her a hand.
Oh, my God.
Congratulations.
I just want everyone to remember that when I watched her do her first sled, I said, this is the look of a world champ. I called it.
Right.
I didn't know her in advance. This is about me here, not her.
Woo.
Can you go unbroken fresh?
I would need a good day.
That's
Good
just
day.
disgusting. if you
God.
that day you ran 57, if you came through and they handed you a woman's ball that day, could you have done 100?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. I like the confidence.
Wow.
She almost walked off that stage.
101 is their second
God,
on
man.
U.S. soil. All right. This isn't these dinky sleds. These
Well, that
dinky
puts into
Euro
perspective
sleds.
that other people weren't doing bad.
What's that? Oh, everybody else?
Yeah, they weren't doing poorly.
Vivian is probably going to come through with like a 66 or something, and that's like a really good
Yeah.
time. But she's just like losing by 5 minutes. Like, is she even? Here she is. Yeah.
It's only 103 right now. She could do it.
And it,
Maybe not. Maybe 108. Which is a big PR
107.
for her.
the fact that these other top girls are still going to be around, 106, 107. I mean, do we think this was a fast course, or is this Megan Jacoby? She is the real deal.
Well, without her penalty in her first one, she goes 63 mid. She was 66 mid with a 3-minute penalty.
Yeah. These times are so impressive.
They did.
We're going to find out.
Yeah, they
With
have
the men.
fixed. Yes. Yeah. What do you think Dylan's got in him today?
Well, he better beat her. That's for sure.
Not a layup.
He's going to hear about it in our fantasy draft.
It's not a sure thing. That is
Yeah,
not
let's get out on them boys now. There he is.
There he goes. Run and hit his pace. So he
We were
should
talking about
be.
most people look slower on film when they run than they actually are. Dylan always looks faster. I see him doing treadmill reps on Instagram, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this kid's running 5 flat. He's like, yeah, I was doing a recovery run at 640. He just looks fast when he runs.
He does, but he's got a speed, 2 speeds.
He's
I'm
a
not
guy
sure.
too that's just not. He's not going to fade. You know, if he's sitting there
He's
talking,
talking.
he's in a good place. He's
Like,
probably like, "Yo,
gross.
tell Brakken and Kirk like I'm not doing that Deca Dog 5000."
What is he wearing?
he's been wearing weird cargo shorts, and I don't know what he's been doing.
That kid's had a dad style since he turned like 20.
He's
got the jeans and Hoka's look going a lot, and
he did at the Deca team race, mixed doubles in West Palm. He had like a hat on and he had a headband over his hat, wearing weird ass cargo shorts, looking all sorts of foolish.
he looks
But
good though.
he looks good.
He's another pound or two bigger in his upper body this year. He's got that progression of just still putting in work, but not trying to get bigger. But he's just going to keep getting a little bigger as this work continues.
I was going to say his shoulders and delts right there look more defined than I've seen them.
You can catch him
his
in some
chest a
photos
little
too,
bigger.
looking jacked. I mean, the amount of work he puts in. If he's just eating,
he's honestly defied the odds. Like everyone's told him, put in a strength block, get stronger, but he's stuck to his guns and he knows what he likes to do. And
yeah, I'm
keeps
just
getting
training
faster.
35 hours a week. I don't want to do a strength block.
He did say before that the wall balls were something that were a struggle for him, and like if there was a rub on his game here, it would be some of the movement stuff. Like the sleds obviously are harder for him, but he didn't have very good movement, and his wall balls weren't very good, which is usually just like a capacity thing. But
he said wallet in his back pocket. You see that?
It might be
his back right pocket. He's got something.
Or is he going into a pull? Or is he at broad jumps already?
He's got his Pokemon cards in his pocket while he's racing. It's wild.
All right, so we missed the sleds. So
Hunter said that he reached out to Dylan to coach him for free, and Dylan wanted to stick with what's been working for him.
Oh, watch that right foot though, Dylan.
That was a little
He's stepping past his hand.
If he's not stepping past his hand, he's good.
Watch it.
I think he's all right.
Listen, I know 3 inches. He's moving up a little bit past that where he should be.
He's one of the best in the field too at this station.
He's one of the best in the world. Yeah.
So this is that fast
210.
That fast step up rhythm that I don't have. He's figured it out.
Our guy Jay Chan ripped the PR today. Thinking those coupons is what he's got back there.
Yeah, probably.
If Dylan had coupons for one item, what's he carrying around for? What's he saving up for?
I don't know. Probably a fanny pack.
Yeah, I mean, he probably has
that right foot. Already. I'm dinging you on that, Dylan. I'm not abiding. That right foot's starting to get egregious.
Is it to where your hands?
Watch his right hand where it was. His right hand was behind that pull, and he stepped ahead of it. Watch here. We need a good marker on the ground.
This front angle's no good. No good.
Front angle's fine if we can see where his hand is here. Here it is. Nah. Shadow.
That was good.
That was even.
That was good.
That's the risky run with it. That was even. Maybe Graham might have called him on it.
That's right, Graham. Don't let his looks fool you.
He is a scumbag.
He's a scumbag.
Let's see if we have Vivian come through yet. 101. Goodness. When Lauren did 63, I was like, that is a crazy time. And then just like,
those are fast burpees.
Vivian came through in 68.07. That should put her in top 15 currently. Oh, but back to Hunter wanting to coach Dylan. What could anybody do for Dylan? Like, how could you make him better? like any coach is going to be like, you need to chill out and you need to do less, or you need to chill out and do it this way. Like he has had success, like Kent, you said, like defying the odds. Like
some horses are just meant to run wild and free and in khakis.
I don't know.
When he was looking at us and chatting to the camera, that was after sled pull.
That was after sleds.
He came off sleds looking real good.
He's looking great, man.
Any splits on that?
I'm gonna go see right now. Did you see Soundbox time today, Kent?
I did.
Pretty impressive. Let's see. Let's see what he pushed and pulled.
He's wearing khaki shorts and he's running in Nike Winflows. Like he just stepped out of Kohl's and got here. That's it.
Dylan's sled push is 324, which is probably a minute faster than what his push has been in previous years, and he's way down. He's sixth in the field. Some Jesse McCune was 304, Colin Brand 310. I don't recognize many of these names. I don't know if
is Brent there.
Supposed to be.
He's supposed to be. I don't think so though.
He's back up to pace now. You could tell there when he first came out of the rock zone, he was laboring a little bit. But
look at this big boy moving well. That's a muscle-bound fella with some speed going.
Dylan just rolled past him. I'm checking out the splits. Like the cargo shorts can't be advantageous for performance.
They've got to be running / lifting cargo shorts, right?
Yeah, that's what they are.
Who makes those?
Probably like Viore or something. Or
I'm wearing Viore right now. I'm on Viore top. The top shirts, great. In terms of performance for athletics, subpar, but chilling, great stuff. Yeah, so I guess it looks like it's just Dylan in this field. Yeah, there wasn't many guys coming out to this. Kent, you were thinking about going to this one, right?
I was, but just with Battle Bunker as well, I just didn't think it was a smart move.
How'd you bounce back after that?
I was fine. Yeah.
Light work?
Yeah, I took a day off and then got right back to work.
I suppose like everything was intense, but it wasn't a lot of volume on the body, huh?
Yeah, and I had done a few workouts. My body was conditioned for something like that.
This guy is taking efficiency to the next level.
That's how Magida was doing him in his last race.
He was crawling.
I'm like, dude, you can't win a race getting on your knees and jumping up like that.
He got his burpee technique from his newborn child. just crawl right on up to the front.
Dylan's sled pull was 405. Dylan might be under 60. I'm guessing he's going to go under 60 here.
Remember when 60 was hard to do?
I still recall.
I remember my first beer. Rich, Naperville, Illinois was the site of the last collegiate track race I ran.
How'd
So
it go?
last chance meet, I didn't qualify for nationals, and I went to KFC. I didn't cool down. I just got changed right away. Walked over to KFC and got 2 double downs.
Legendary.
Remember the double down, Kent?
No.
It's a chicken bacon sandwich, but no bun. It's 2 chicken patties as the bun, and you got your bacon and stuff and like cordon bleu ham on the inside. It's a meat sandwich. KFC.
Now
I had one baked, one crispy, just to try both out. Sat there on the bus, just full to the brim, tears in my eyes. I'll never run again. Housing KFC.
How many
ask you
napkins do you need for something like that? My question is probably more important. Hold on. How many napkins for a double?
No, I was in cry and be depressed and eat mode, so I didn't use any. I just let it fall right down the front and just cry
Wash
and
your
wiped
hands
it with
with your
KFC.
tears. Yeah. Go ahead, Kent. What kind of question?
I was going to say, what if Hyrox made 330-meter laps. That was how you got the 1,000. 3 laps. Couldn't you make that consistent across the globe if every place did 3? Because then you wouldn't need a big facility, and you could, you know, the rock zone could be the same everywhere too. Just how Deca Fit, you know, is the 2x250. They could do 3x333 and basically do the same thing.
I'm answering a question on the live stream. Oh, this isn't my Instagram. I can't do it. Nike Winflow, WINFLO.
I got it.
Have y'all tried the new Nike Zoom Rivals
No.
racing flats or something? Is that what they're called?
Zoom Rivals.
Maybe. What are they called?
The Street Flies?
The Streak Flies, yeah.
I thought about grabbing a pair.
They're on sale right now.
The reviews I've read is that they're not that much different than any type of trainer because there's no plate in it. It's Zoom X, but everybody's making a super foam lightweight trainer now. Like, so I don't think it's any different than like the Rebel 3 is basically what I heard. The New Balance Rebel 3.
If it had come out before all the plated super shoes and everything, people would have been like, this is the greatest lightweight trainer racer ever. But now it's just like, it's lost in the pack.
It's just Nike's version of it.
I just got a pair of Pumas. Pretty excited about those.
Which ones?
Like Levitate or something like that.
Ooh.
What are they called? They start with an L or Deviate or something like that. I don't know.
Deviate Nitro, and I think they have the Levitate as well. Do they?
It's their lightweight one. It weighs like 6'1", I think.
Ooh. Okay, it's time to tell them, Rich. It's the Nike Winflow.
Right.
They're guessing Pegasus or Streak Fly. Not bad guesses, but we had
What is
the
it
inside intel. Nike Winflow, WINFLO. Just, I can't abide by this.
I need to change. There's a shoe question.
Oh, tell him. I'm helpless.
The people must know.
Dylan's off quick there.
Oh, he's reaching in.
What's he got?
We're gonna get to see.
It's probably a disposable camera. He's gonna pull it out and take pictures of the course.
He's got a cracker or something.
I think he had a gel inside of his wallet. That's what it was.
No, I don't need my Shopko card. Nope, that's not it. Library card, that's not it either.
That was a good idea.
Blockbuster card, nope.
Whatever he had, he popped it right into his mouth. So I don't know if it was a gel. It may have been
probably
like
a hard
date,
candy.
something like that. Yeah.
Wrapped in crinkly cellophane.
Dylan likes to eat marshmallows. Maybe it was a marshmallow. I know he's a big marshmallow eater.
I cannot fathom eating a marshmallow on that indoor Hyrox there.
No, dude, I took a honey stinger in Vegas, and it was super dry there, and it's so viscous that how hard I was breathing, I basically breathed in the honey, and it was not a good experience. The
Albin just did that. Did you see that?
No. What did he do?
At CCC, Albin, he said he aspirated a Morton gel. And he was vomiting and like he went like 15 seconds where he couldn't breathe.
If I definitely couldn't breathe for a little bit. It screwed me up for a second, but that was my bad. Like Morton gel, I find that would be harder to do because it is more like Jello. It would probably be much less enjoyable.
I mean, you're not going to enjoy either one.
No. Let's see what do you think? We got guesses for his row. Dylan's a good rower.
He's a good rower.
Dylan's a very strong rower.
On and off. What are we going to say? 354, 356?
Kent?
I mean, I think he probably was pulling high 140s.
Yeah, I agree. He was 353 with transition, so you take like 10 seconds off of that?
Minimum 10, yeah.
He's a very good rower. It'll be interesting to see how he does at DECA because he's coming down I mean, it's just the event is just fast. Like,
He's just going to run the same pace.
In West Palm, that's what he said. He's like, I just can't run that fast. He was like, during the race, I just threw my hands up and couldn't really do anything about it. It's like Lauren Rentala out on the course.
Better keep up, boys. It's going to be a fast one.
You've been getting quick?
You going to take it out, Kent?
Don't you worry about me. I'll be where I need to be by the finish line.
You've been working on those wheels?
Maybe.
What can you run in a 5K right now?
Of course.
This is not the form I was talking about.
This is what Kent looks like during Deca Strong.
It's not nice to make fun, but he's got some free speed waiting for him when he figures it out.
I honestly have no idea what I could run a 5K in right now. Like, I really... 16 something, probably.
Rich just ran a 5K time trial.
Sure did. I told him. He knows.
Y'all act like that even matters.
I think in this sport it does. I think it's the only sport it does. I think Deca
it doesn't
matters.
not matter. Yeah.
Rich has always been able to run a 15:35K.
He just won 15:0.
No, his
it's probably
GPS
15:20. Yeah, it's probably 15:25.
Why did you go off GPS?
What are their options?
I mean, you go to a track or
Who
measure
else is out
out.
there doing 5K time trials to get ready for Deca Fit?
I would.
It ain't a 5K race.
No, but there's a certain amount of
it is a 5K running race.
There's a certain amount of lactate tolerance. I use 5Ks to get ready for stadiums a lot. Just to be able to sit that last mile and a half in it, I think that matters.
Just to get really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Look
at that. Look at the front of this. He spilled his juice box all down the front of his khakis.
When there's a race where we're running 3 miles without stopping, then I'll do a 5K time trial.
I did a
OCR stars.
I did. Yeah, there we go. I did a sim yesterday, Kent. On
I saw that. How'd that go? See, that would be. I'd be more interested in that.
Yeah, it was hard. It was I did it was like I was 31:05 or something like that on the curved treadmill, which I think is probably, I don't know, Brakken, what do you think? A minute slower?
I don't know what the conversion. I want to pause for a second though. You can tell his structure's getting stronger because he in the past sometimes looks like he's like being pulled down to the center of the earth by these things. He's always still going to have that front lean, but he's not as rounded and hunched and caved in as he used to be.
I wonder if he is working on his posture much, because that was one thing, like his movement and just like his mobility, or if it is just a byproduct of doing this much volume with a specific amount of like conscious decision on his form. That was unbroken.
That's good.
You're right. He is defying the odds. You wouldn't pick that man out of a lineup to go unbroken on that at the start line.
Something Hyrox
is like one of the guys. Like, I love his confidence too. Like, it doesn't even piss me off or make me angry. Like, I love how confident he is in himself, man. It's fun to watch him compete.
He's just light, he's like definitely confident, is going to go out and kill it as much as possible. And he's just like, whatever, like, I'm just going to do my thing. Like,
and it's genuine.
It's definitely
there's
genuine.
Some guys in the sport, they'll give you that talk and you're like, there's something behind it, or it's covering something, or they mean more by it. He just means exactly what he's saying.
Yep. Right. It's not bravado. It's not like mind games. He's like, I could probably run 59:30, but I might run 60. Because that's what I'm capable of.
And he has that. That's again what volume of training does. Like, you arrive to a race and you know what worst case scenario is, and it's not bad usually. Like, you just show up knowing you've done the work and you're set.
So what time did they start?
Hey, Rich, how fast was your 5K at Deca West Palm?
It's like 17:30 something. Not good. I wasn't working on my 5K then. I was
better be working on that mod.
Where was that 15:05 at, big dog?
I wasn't working on it then. I was probably in 16 flat shape then.
No.
Dude, I was like...
You haven't been in 16 flat shape since like 4th grade.
You're probably right. But I definitely wasn't in 15 flat.
What'd you split at West or at your last Hyrox, Ken? I mean, Deca.
Hyrox? Oh,
Last Deca.
like 17:20. But like my 5K time was probably like 16:30, so I only lost 50 seconds off of what probably my top end potential was.
Your
Mod
station
minus
time was
50.
crazy. Your station time was like 11:20 or something like
I
that.
will be faster. I'll be under 17 for sure. In Atlantic City, and then I think based off my recent Deca Strong, those numbers should come down to sub 28. We'll see what you boys want to do. See how far we want to push that. I've been helping you. Don't act like I've been telling you. You've been getting so much better on that assault bike. That's going to be a feather in your cap that you maybe haven't had before. So, I think it's going to be a good race.
I'm gonna be in it. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I'm interested in what Anas is gonna do because he's kind of a wild card. Like he might take it out really hard.
Good. Kent's got his new row form coming, but you've got that new volume training and non-impact work going. You're bringing a new something to the table here. Rich and I have been in the lab.
At least we have cooking it up.
Cooking it.
So it's gonna be good. Are you taper time yet, Kent?
No, man. I've still got let's see, till Wednesday. I'm in like a 10-day grind right now. Like 20 days out to about 10 days out is where I boost up volume and intensity. Like every run I'm going on is at least 90 minutes. Every threshold workout is at least 6 or 7 miles. So that 20 day to 10 day, and then I'll start the taper.
I think I'm gonna do a Deca Strong next weekend.
Dude, you just need to know what it's gonna feel like, or what's going on here?
Ramping up the intensity.
You're turning into Magita.
No, I knew you were gonna say that, and that's not true.
Sim Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 13 weeks in a row. Sim.
On my 27th sim, I did really well. On my 30th,
you want to come over to the house? Come over to the house. You can do it there.
Maybe. No, just ramping up the intensity. I've done plenty of threshold, plenty of volume. It's time to just turn it up a little.
You need to have the ability to go anaerobic. Yeah, for sure, and come back from it.
Yeah, I think I can come back from it. So now it's just a matter of putting myself in it. Dylan's rolling.
Do you think these shorts are limiting his range of motion, or do you think they're functioning like a bit of a squat short where it's hard to work against it and they just prong you right back up in the air?
Maybe like a bench press shirt.
Yeah,
it could be. So he's really high. He's holding it very, very high. I feel like that would be uncomfortable for me.
It's got that Atkins shoulder flexibility. You just put them all the way down and tuck your shirt in the back of your shorts while you're at it.
That is an advantage Atkins had with those double sandbag carries, which I don't like. That is a very uncomfortable position for me to be here. Like I'm very tight in here in my thoracic.
Mm-hmm.
So he looks pretty good here. I mean, he hasn't really wavered. I mean, he's a little bit wobbly, but he's moving along. What do we think he's going to do here?
This comment says 4701 before the lunges. I assume that means going into the lunges.
Probably, yeah.
Oh my God, dude. He's going to be like 58 if that's the case.
Well, think about it. He was a 60 flat guy, and if you take a minute off of each sled,
he had a great sled pull. The sled pulls haven't necessarily been too fast this year.
You give them 3 minutes, 3.5 for the lunges, probably 3:45, 4 minutes on the next run, and then another 4 minutes on the wall ball. So he's 7.5. He's only like 10, 11 minutes from the finish here. Like from at the start of lunges. And if he was 47 there,
Yeah.
I mean, he's right on pace for 58. He's gonna lose his mind. He is gonna blow the American smoke when he crosses that finish line.
Now, just so we're sure, the comment said before the lunges, didn't say at start of lunges. So,
True.
I assume that's what the person meant, but I don't know.
I would imagine. Yeah, launch that.
You can't fake this though, right?
Yeah.
You can't run that over to the pile unless you're still
He's out of there
feeling
quick.
decent.
This is
was right there at the rock zone too, so there was no transition.
This layout was kind of funny. It wasn't sequential really at all in terms of like when you walked in. Like that was a very favorable transition for sure coming out of the lunges. But there's been times where you have to run in and like go way to one side or the other, and it's not like sled push, sled pull, burpee broad jump. So it was like row and sled push is way over here and sled pulls in a different spot. So it'd be interesting to see. Let me actually pull up Meg's time and see what her rock zone was.
This is going to be like running a 59 in New York. You just know it's not legit.
Is that a jab at me?
Yeah. It doesn't work as well when then you go run 57:30 or whatever. This changes things. Okay, I'm sure we're going to talk about this on Race Brand, Rich, but Hyrox did it right with their new rule changes. They standardized sleds, which is one thing everyone made waves about, and then they added top 3 at regional championships goes to worlds, which is something everyone was upset about. So the 2 big uncontrollables they controlled for this year. I thought that was a fantastic move they put out this week.
Yeah, did you read the did you get to see like the initial statement and everything?
Yeah.
I think they just caused themselves a lot of confusion because they said now the sleds are all going to weigh 400 whatever pounds. And everyone's like, wait, I thought the sleds were 3 something. So they worded it funny, but it seems like it's working. Getting the weight is going to be the same. The weight stack is still lower. So we're going to see if that matters really at all for the Europeans. But yeah, the poles are higher. It seems like the weight's probably lighter over here now is probably what they did.
This person just commented probably the best runner in elite.
Hold on.
Like today?
BRB. Yeah.
Today here? Yeah.
Correct.
That was the same guy who was criticizing the judge earlier. So take that.
Oh, it was.
You know,
I got 2 guys here, 3 guys on the call that would beg to say different. We'll say 2.
Yeah.
All you can control really is when you face the competition face to face. I mean, there's venues are still going to be different.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
like you just have to U.S. championships, world championships, everyone who's, you know, who needs to be in that race will be in the race, and then we'll find out who the best is.
Exactly. It's really with the times they're running, it's no different than a half marathon on the roads. Like someone always pops a 57 or 58, 59, and they're nowhere at world championships. Like you get a good course, you get good wind, you get favorable training block that leads right into it, and you don't have to fight anyone. There's something to be said for getting passed on course and what it does to your next station. And I don't think this doesn't reflect on Dylan at all. We're talking more of the outlier results that we've seen because Dylan runs his race. No, he's probably the most impervious to fields around him. Like whether he takes 15th or first, he's probably going to run just about the same time.
Agreed. He knows he's very in tune, probably because he is working out most of the time, but he knows very, very well like how his body feels. 312 on the lunges.
I mean, he looks in control, man. You know, like we're coming up on the end here, and I'm sure there's some fatigue there, but he still looks under control to me.
A long run in here. Oh, not too bad. This might be a great. Did you find out the Rock Zone times? This might be a great Rock Zone setup.
There wasn't anything for Meg yet. So Dominic Malzahn said 54:19 going into wall balls. So dude, yeah, he's going to be under 59.
Your boy called it.
Dude, my guy comes through with math.
Who has him on fantasy?
We're
You got
never
him?
gonna hear the end of this.
No,
I think we took him.
Kent and Race Brain, we have a season-long fantasy thing going for Hyrox. Did you listen to this one?
No.
I'm going to pull Matt Davis. I'm going to send you the link, and I'm not going to tell you what we said on the episode. No, just kidding. So we drafted teams, and you get the average, like the average of the 3 races time-based for an athlete. So the times are what matters. I drafted you, bro. First pick.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you better come through for me this year.
You didn't pick yourself?
I did eventually pick myself because all these other scumbags were sleeping on me. I knew I figured I could wait on myself.
Where did Hunter get drafted?
Late, because it's a minimum 3 races.
Oh.
It's the average of your 3 best times, and there's no guarantee he'll run 3 races. No one wanted Hunter. In fact, Kent said, I would draft. I don't want Kent. Rich said, I don't want to take Ryan Kent right now, but since I don't think Hunter will do 3, I'll take whoever's left over.
That's not true. But whatever gets you,
who was
whatever
the
fuels
first
your fire.
woman taken?
Lauren.
That
May have been the first overall pick.
We took Linda with our first woman.
Yeah.
Where did Jacoby get drafted?
Well, she hadn't run a Hyrox yet.
That's not true. She did. She had run a Hyrox.
And Rich snagged her.
I took her before myself.
That's when like your 4th round pick in fantasy, just like all of a sudden it's like a wide receiver 1, and you're like, did not expect this.
Nah, that never happens to me in fantasy football. I pick the Najee Harris's. Come on, Dylan, pick up that ball.
I took a look through.
Right?
Come on, pick it up.
I took a look through at the leaderboard today. Jeff, who's leading our league, undefeated, or 1 loss. Undefeated?
Who
He's
beat
1
him?
loss.
I did.
He
Ken took him
is
down.
the 6th or 7th most points scored for. That man should be 4-4 right now.
Yeah, his team's not very good.
He is
And
just
Magida
averaged.
has one of the highest, and
He just passed me for highest. He's like 3 points ahead of me.
I took you and Jeff down the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
big deal.
This is bye-week season. Don't get too high and mighty.
And I got the manager list team this week.
It was
Oh.
tough. Kent beat me the same week the Commanders beat the Packers.
Ooh, a double.
He was kind to me. We had a little message going back and forth, and he was kind to me.
So he's only broken twice, I think.
No, he's broken like 4 or 5 times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's breaking a lot. So he might be high 4s.
His
Come on,
reps
dude.
do look good, man. Good reps.
That ball's
Pick it
getting sweaty.
Come on. And his breaks are long. These are too long. Like, if you're going to break like that, you got to pick it right back up. I mean, it's easier said than done, especially at this point of the race where you're just like,
This isn't a
won.
decision at this point.
He's won the race after the first station, you know?
Dylan's
I
sister
think we're looking probably around about 415, 420 for these wall balls.
He's going to be so mad if he goes 59.01.
I think he'd be lucky if he gets that. Because that's generally a good wall ball for him. Okay.
Well, what you got for us, Dylan? Come on.
Let's get some sound.
all day. This is what 22-23 season.
Is he popping off at the mouth?
Right here. It's big PRs. It's world
38.
Remember that?
You know what it's really about? Yeah, it's about peach rings, baby.
He's got a peach ring.
You Georgia boy?
South Carolina. 58-38.
That music that Hyrox plays at their events just gets me
welcome,
so
Sam.
jacked up. Like, I feel like I'm ready to go right now.
There we go.
Let's go. Let's go
Welcome to
throw
the
down.
Sharp 1 Hour Club. Relays? We got relays now. We got relays. We're still alive.
How about that, though? I gotta tell you, Hyrox America family, what you
Want to hear more
witnessed
E-Rock?
today is insane. This is just a taste.
I think
All
we're
right,
good
shut
on.
it off.
I think we're good. 38. So these U.S.
Okay.
times are fast this year. This is the second race in a row. Like for Magida to come out and run 60 low, like 60, mid to low 60, 19, I think he was, with the fitness that he currently had at that time was pretty fast. I was actually kind of surprised that that's what he ran. Not that that is something that he's not capable of, but I think on Magida's good day,
His run fitness was low.
His run fitness was very low. Right. Yeah. His like station fitness was high, but like he hadn't done much. And we're seeing some debuts that have been faster than before. So these US times they're lining up a little bit better.
I may do another Hyrox now.
Come on, let's go.
If these sleds aren't going to kill me anymore, I might as well do a Hyrox.
Come on in.
Are we saying that the field is just getting that much faster, or is this all due to the changes that have been made?
There's Graham.
Both.
A little bit of both. I mean, say it's a minute like of time just spent on the push, and that's also a minute less just from the total time, but also a minute less of exertion that Dylan had to put out there on that sled push, which it's hard to account for how much time that's going to be. But
I'm telling you, if this is how it's going to be, man, I'm going 54 this year.
Well, this only helps you, and it only hurts Hunter McIntyre.
It only hurts the strong athletes. Yeah, super strong athletes.
I mean, honestly, I feel like it hurts me a little bit too, because
that's fair.
It helps me.
That's fair.
It helps me.
You were already doing well with the other system, and you were running well off the sleds. And you're doing well on the sleds. So yeah, it could hurt you, but like you said, you're gonna run 54 now. Like, people are still braking on the sleds. It's not like they're just doing it faster. Like, you might just go unbroken now.
Man.
Yeah. It's gonna just suck worse. But
I'll tell you what, we better not go to LA and lay an egg.
Yeah, I know. And we're like, everything we said, never mind. That was
Weren't the carpets really rough there last time?
It was, the sleds were crazy slow in LA last time.
What? So what do we need to run? We probably need to run like sub 59 if we want to be in the U.S. championships.
You cannot run slower than Dylan, or you will never, ever, ever hear the end of it.
Yeah, can't. Well, Dylan and I, we're usually pretty close.
Are you talking to me, or are you talking to Rich?
Talking to you.
No, you said, what do we have to run? 59. And I said, you have to run just significantly faster than Dylan. Otherwise, that mouth is going to keep running.
It's going to be interesting how we feel after, because it's like a week. We'll have Deca, and then like a week down. 2 weeks maybe in between Deca and
3.
Hyrox. It's 3?
It's 3, so.
Kent's going to fit another big 10-day block in there.
Yeah, dude. Like, rest day, Monday, and then 10 days hard, 10 days easy.
I don't know.
Watching him has to make you feel good.
Oh yeah, and like seeing some of the other times and what people have been doing, even seeing like Linda Meyer, what she's been doing, right? Like, she's not a strength athlete by any means. So seeing how she's been able to kind of bounce back, it makes me feel that I don't need to continue to just try to get bigger and bigger. Now it's just capacity, just doing the work.
Rich, this was week 3 of German volume training for me.
What? How's it going? Are you super sore?
Yeah, I'm fairly sore. In fact, week 1, I started a little too hot, and I could only get 6 to 7 sets, not 10.
I usually start at 8. I don't try to 10 right away.
So I just got through my first cycle, or the second cycle of all. I'm doing 3 different day types. I'm not doing strict German volume. I'm doing every other day on a 6-day cycle, 3 days of every 6, and then I repeat. So basically once every 6 days, I'm hitting that specific lift.
That's plenty.
I'm going to be 215 by the time you guys see me next.
Are you trying to bulk up, or is it just for like tendon strength?
Tendon strength.
Yeah.
And as long as I'm doing the lower body tendon strength, I might as well get that upper.
Yeah. Get swole. Up to that 180. What are you weighing now?
Right now, I'm 177.
All right. Kent, what are you like? 168?
I got done with my run yesterday, dude. I was 180 on the dot. And I was like, dude, I got to go eat some food.
Skinny. He's too skinny.
Starting to pull out this extra medium here.
Dude, honestly, my weight fluctuates like crazy. Like, I could be 187 one day, and then like 2 days later, 179. It's just like, I don't know, man.
Colorado, I used to drop crazy weight during runs.
Just like
And
the
like,
air is so dry, just respiration rate.
I don't know. Maybe I was just doing more work there, but I'd go out there. I'd go out for just a 90-minute run, and I'd leave at like 169 and get back at 162.
That's how I am when it's super humid back east. Like I'll lose 10 pounds of water weight.
I'd like to weigh 180 for Deca Fit, 186 for Deca Strong, and 183 for Deca Mile. So
Like in Atlantic City,
Yeah,
or
AC,
just
yeah.
West Coast?
That's a good. There's buffets.
it's nice because I can just like eat as much food as I want after Deca Fit,
That's a good call. I'll probably do the
you
same
know,
thing.
and just
Is
like
Fit first?
bulk up a few pounds.
Oh, I thought they were going originally. Did they say different?
I don't know, but strong. It's fit. Then teams. The next day is strong and mile.
Yeah.
I'm about to go 11:15 Deca Strong.
I believe it.
It's happening.
I believe it. Sea level. It's gonna feel nice. Look at that. Down to Hyrox.
Your boy got worked in the obstacle course, though. Thank God we're not doing that anymore.
Are you gonna be in on that 3K format, Spartan Cross?
I mean, I'd like to, but clearly I'm just not good at obstacles.
How did Isaiah do so well? What did he do?
I don't know. All I can say is my grip got worked. Like I had to slow
Really?
down at the end simply because I needed to shake my hands out before going into an obstacle. And Isaiah was just able to plow through them all. Like I pretty much coasted the final like 4 to 5 just to give myself a few extra seconds so I wouldn't
He was
fail.
just steady Eddie straight through the
Yeah.
whole thing.
But you know how, dude, he always impresses. It's like he shouldn't
Never
do that
misses.
well, but he finds a way.
Yeah. Yeah. You doing cross this year?
What do you mean? Cross
Spar-
what?
Spartan cross.
Is that the 3K, right?
This 3K
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. I wonder what they are gonna call it. Like, something stupid. I'm sure.
You gonna do that? You gonna get back in on a series?
We'll see, man. I'd like to. I miss competing against. Like I feel like I have my Hyrox boys now that I race against, but I miss going against some of the other guys. So it'd be fun. I mean, I'll have to definitely spend some time practicing obstacles now because it matters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when there's a half mile in between obstacles, you can kind of fitness your way through a course, but something short like that, you know, if you have an advantage on obstacles, you're gonna. I mean, we saw VJ did that quarter-mile course a minute and 20 seconds faster than I did, like for a quarter mile.
That's wild.
So,
All right, dudes. I gotta roll.
yep. All right, boys.
Thanks for popping on.
See you
That was
soon.
fun. We'll see ya later.